One thing I love about Celtics Today by Chat Sports that you guys show the love on different social media platforms, and that includes Twitter, or if you want to call it X. I personally don't, but I've gotten DMs from you guys telling me how much you love the show, just having good conversations back and forth about the Boston Celtics. So let's go on ahead and give me a follow here on Twitter. If you guys want a little sneak peek at what my profile looks like, well, it's a lot of Celtics memes, highlights, and updates. I also post live links to our live shows. And I love having conversations with you guys. You know, I got Muad, I got Duncan, I got Christopher Boyd who comment at me saying, are we going live tonight? And I always say yes. So all you guys have to do is follow me on Twitter at AR Barefoot, and let's keep this thing rolling. Happy holidays, C's fans. While there is no actual holiday today, we are going to be talking about the holiday, which is Mr. Jrue. He is eligible for a contract extension on April 1st. No, that's not a pun. If you guys celebrate April 1st, April Fool's Day, well, congratulations to you, because that is technically a holiday, and Jrue Holiday will have a chance to extend his stay in Boston starting on that date. But the question is, will he stay in Boston? That's exactly what we're going to break down here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and I want to talk about some numbers here for a minute, because this is the number one reason why Jrue would stay or would not stay in Boston. Not because he hasn't been producing for the C's, not because he doesn't like Boston, but just because there may or may not be enough money that he is going to want. Because as of right now, he's making $37 million. Next year, he has a player option of about $40 million. And in that year after, he will be an unrestricted free agent. So, will Boston keep him in the area for a couple more years? Well, we're going to find out, because if he does decide to decline that player option, which it's more likely to happen here, because if he declines the player option, he will be eligible to sign a contract extension with the Boston Celtics. But he could also decline that player option and go to a different team. I do not believe Jrue Holiday will take this player option just because it will expire at the end of the year, and then he'll be a free agent. So I really do see him declining and wanting a contract extension with the Boston team. But it does make me worried that if they don't do it in time, will he leave? Because there are a lot of things on Brad Stevens' plate in the offseason, not to mention we're not even done with this season yet. And I know Banner 18 is on the forefront of everybody's mind in that area. But you got to think about what they have to do. Jayson Tatum is going to be expecting a max contract in this offseason, since Jaylen Brown got his last offseason, making him the highest paid NBA player ever. Well, Tatum might take that reign here coming up the next couple of months. Plus, the Jrue Holiday contract extension, which I do believe will probably be the second top priority of the list. I put a question mark next to Sam Hauser's contract because he does have a team option here, and they could decide to sign him for about $1 million, $2 million. I personally think Sam Hauser has earned that bag, but I don't think he falls in terms of 1 and 2 when it comes to priorities of re-signing him. The reason why Derrick White is at number 4 in the list of priorities is because Derrick White is with the team through 2026, so he doesn't have to sign a contract extension at all this entire year, and he'd still be with Boston. Although I think it would just show a lot how much you care about him and how much you want him to stay in Boston, how appreciated he is, if you sign him this offseason. However, they have a hefty apron coming up, because if you look at what next year's salaries, which is going to be the first year of Jaylen Brown's supermax contract, he's going to be making $50 million a year. On top of that, add another $40 for Jayson Tatum. Add another $40 for Jrue Holiday. Add $29 for Kristaps Porzingis and $20 for Derrick White. And these are all guaranteed contracts. And then if Jayson Tatum decides to get a max contract, of course, that'll kick in the year after. So they're going to be paying a lot of players. This doesn't even crack into Al Horford, or if Sam Hauser decides to get a contract extension. Not even the role players of Luke Cornett and Peyton Pritchard, who have earned more money. So it really makes me worry that there's not going to be enough money that Jrue Holiday is going to want to accept, because he is only 33 right now, and he'll soon be 34. So if the C's wait until the summer to re-sign Jrue Holiday and not do it by the month of April, May, or June, I'm talking off-season, I hope the Celtics are playing in June, is that Jrue Holiday may not want to stick around in the Boston area. And I only say that because he may have to take a pay cut. I don't know Jrue Holiday. I don't know what his aspirations are, if he wants to be a mega millionaire, whatever he wants to do, or if he just wants to play with the Celtics. But the Philadelphia 76ers have a lot of cap space opening up in this offseason, and they're going to be another contending team. So is Miami Heat. So maybe Jrue Holiday will end up going to another team if Brad Stevens can't offer him what he wants. But we're going to break down more of what they can offer him in the offseason in just a few moments. But first, I just got to ask you guys this question. First and foremost, should the Celtics give Jrue Holiday a contract extension? I asked you guys this on our community page on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. A lot of you guys said yes, but now I really want to see your opinions on this. Type 4 if you agree. Let me know why or why not you would give Jrue Holiday a contract extension, and let's have a discussion about it. And like I said, we're going to be talking about Jrue Holiday's response to wanting to stay with the Celtics, and we're also going to talk about, if it's possible, what I would offer him, and then I'll ask you guys what you would offer him. So be sure to stick around for that. But in the meantime, Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. I know you guys have heard me talking about this, and I'm never going to stop talking about this until every single Celtics Today watcher is playing Prize Picks, because this is the #1 way to have so much fun when you play a daily fantasy sports app. Take it from me, guys. I was playing this way before they were a sponsor here on Celtics Today, and there's a reason for that. When I put down money on a game, it normally scared the crap out of me. I didn't understand it and made me feel like I was in math class and I was failing. So now Prize Picks is so aesthetically pleasing, and it's extremely easy to use. Just pick more or less on between 2 to 6 players, and you can win up to 100 times your money right now with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with NBA, NHL, and college basketball entries right now, including your March Madness picks. But I'm going to stick to NBA just for a little bit because I saw this demon that I absolutely loved. If you guys have been watching any other team in the Eastern Conference right now, I hope it's the Knicks, because Dante DiVincenzo is a star. I'm going to take a demon with him, 24.5 points. He just set the single-season record for the New York Knicks of most ever three-pointers made in a single game. Dante is going off right now. So I took that demon. It's a harder pick, but it pays a lot more. And then I took the current Golden State Warrior, Klay Thompson, to have more than 18 points because he's also been popping off pretty recently. So I'm testing my skills, and you guys should too. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. The Celtics have a huge salary cap this season. They're paying $184 million amongst 15 players, which is banana land because I have less than $100 in my checking account, and I still feel like I'm a rich woman. So the fact that they are now going to have to make a lot of decisions in the offseason, because next year they could be paying upwards of $300 million if everybody gets paid the way they would like to get paid. Like I said before, Holiday's coming up on his 34th birthday, which isn't technically old in, normal people years, but in the NBA, between 35 and 40 is where you really start to think, hey, is this guy being washed up? Is this guy done? Where's he at? And 34 could also be in that mix. Jrue Holiday, for what he's done for the Celtics this season, is amazing. He was the missing link the Celtics have needed this entire time when it comes to defense. No, he's not putting up the numbers he has in the past couple of years, but he was never with the Celtics before this. Jrue Holiday has a very different role this year, as he just said on the Draymond Green show. It's not so much offense-oriented. As you can see, look at the defensive side of it. He's got about 6 rebounds per game. He's been going absolutely crazy when it comes to the backcourt with the duo of Derrick White. And when Jrue Holiday did comment on if he wants to stay in Boston, he said, look, I think everybody kind of knows we're set. And we're set for a long period. No matter what happens, you're going to come back here with the same guys for the most part. Things happen, but I think you lock into that. Being able to have that comfortability and just kind of that pressure off about what's next. So it sounds like to me Jrue Holiday is pretty set on staying in Boston. And it sounds vice versa, like Brad Stevens wants him to stay as well. And I loved this comment that he gave to Draymond Green saying, look, he was very pissed off when he got traded from Milwaukee, A, because he was taking a nap during that. I hate being woken up. I can't imagine being woken up and said, hey, you have to go move. I'd be pissed off. But 2, he wanted to come to Boston just as much as they wanted him. I talked about that in a short that I posted yesterday on Celtics Today by Chat Sports, but he said Boston has my best chance of winning. And I think Boston has the best chance of winning with Jrue Holiday. Not to mention, he's been injured for the last 5 games, and it's really stood out how bad the Celtics starting 5 need him on defense. Bobby did give this update before the Atlanta Hawks game saying, Jrue Holiday, he's not concerned at all. Joe Mazzulla's not. He looks good. He said he worked out today. He said he felt a lot better. So whenever he feels the best, he's going to come back, but he's not concerned about it. That's music to my ears, knowing that they're not rushing Holiday back into any sort of game, whether it's win or lose. Hopefully it's win. And then a new report came out today as the Celtics are still in Atlanta as they take on the Hawks tomorrow night. Jrue Holiday was in full fashion practicing today with the Celtics. I believe they were practicing in the Georgia Tech Auditorium, which is really cool. So overall, Jrue Holiday was seen taking really deep threes along with Peyton Pritchard. So obviously he's got full motion of that AC joint. So hopefully Jrue Holiday takes as much rest as he needs, because there is one thing the Celtics need, and that's banner 18. While they're in Atlanta, Jayson Tatum stopped by the Inside the NBA studio, and he actually hopped on, and I love this quote that he gave. He said, look, everybody on our team is in the perfect place in their career. We've all accomplished individual things. Everybody's gotten paid. I think we have the right group and the right mindset. Jrue Holiday is the only player on that team that has actually earned or received a ring. I wouldn't say earned. They've all earned it. But Jrue Holiday is the only one that's been lucky enough to have a ring with a championship team with the Milwaukee Bucks, and I think a lot of the other Celtics want that right now. But the fact that Jayson Tatum is here saying everybody's on the exact same page, we're not worried about who's going to get paid in the offseason. No, that's not a thing. I saw a comment saying no drama, just win banner 18. This doesn't seem like a drama-filled situation to me. This seems like Jrue Holiday and Brad Stevens are on the same page. Derrick White is happy with where he is, and Sam Hauser is continuously proving that he wants to get paid. So the good news is there's no drama. However, that doesn't mean something can't change in the offseason, because I do feel like if you keep Jrue Holiday, he's going to have to take a major pay cut, and I'm not sure he's ready to do that. Like I said, 33, 34 isn't that old in the NBA, but it's definitely getting up there, and I'm sure he wants to earn as much money as he can. So I talked to his producer, Smitty, and I was like, where do we see Jrue Holiday really fitting in with his salary next year? And I decided 3 options were probably is what's going to happen. If you want to sign him to a contract extension, you could be looking at upwards of 4 years. I would personally pay around $110 million for 4 years. I think that would be right up where Jrue Holiday can retire happy and healthily and have good money for his next generation. However, they could also extend a 2-year, $60 million contract extension, which would keep him through the 2027 season, since he does have that player option next year. So he wouldn't have to really worry about that looming free agency coming up. He can kind of feel where his body's at and make that choice, but that would be about $30 million a year, which is about a $10 million pay cut from what he's making right now. Or you could offer him a vet minimum. I looked it up. $2.7 million a year. Yeah. I don't think Jrue Holiday is going to go for that. So that is still an option, because he will technically be 10 years in the league since then. And Al Horford could possibly be on a vet minimum. So there are resources to do that option, but I don't think Holiday is going to go for that one. So here's where you guys get to be Brad Stevens. I think that's a pretty cool job if you ask me. Comment your contract extension offer details for Jrue Holiday down below. My favorite one, of course, is the 4-year, $110 million. I just don't know if they can swing that. So I'm going to go safe option, 2-year, $60 million. Comment what you would offer Jrue Holiday, what you think he's worth to the Celtics down below, and let's talk about it. And like I said, go ahead and give me a follow on X, Twitter, whatever the hell. AR Barefoot, talk to me on there. And if not, as always, hit that sub button on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. We're going to be live tomorrow for Celtics versus the Hawks. Unfortunately, they are going to have to bounce back after a loss. It's a comeback game now, but we're going to be live. We're going to be having drinks and having a good time. So come on ahead and join us by hitting that sub button.